What's up, everyone? Welcome to the May 4th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, you get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. Be sure to use the code Awesemo to receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100. We have a split slate of games today, so we have 7 games coming up this evening on FanDuel. As usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament options and 3 of the top tournament stacks, and 3 of the top tournament pitchers on FanDuel using the Awesemo.com top stacks tool and top pitchers tool. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the New York Yankees are projected for 9% aggregate ownership. They have a 10% chance of being the top scoring stack. They're taking on Yusei Kikuchi tonight, who, despite the deadened baseballs and lack of offense this year, has still really struggled. He's only struck out 18% of hitters. He has a 5.29 xFIP, and he's managed to allow 1.84 home runs per 9. The Yankees have been the best offense in baseball so far with a 123 WRC+. They have a 178 ISO as a team, and it's a pretty good spot against Kikuchi, especially with the way that he has pitched to open the season. Number 2, the Washington Nationals go into Coors Field. They're taking on Austin Gomber, who is a pretty solid pitcher, but we know this park plays up offense, not only because of home runs, but because the spacious outfield allows more balls to fall in for hits and allows for prolonged innings. The Nats are projected for about 13% aggregate ownership. They have a 14% chance of being the top scoring stack. They've been bad offensively this year, 95 WRC+, only a 102 ISO. And as mentioned before, Gomber is not bad, 23% strikeout percentage for him, 3.59 xFIP, but the Nats still projected to go a little bit under-owned and do have a respectable 4.8 implied run total. And number 1, on the other side of that game, the Colorado Rockies taking on the Nationals, projected for 15% ownership with a 17% chance of being the top scoring stack. They're going up against Patrick Corbin, who has really not been a very good pitcher for the last couple of years. So far this year, his strikeout stuff has actually been decent at 23%, but he still has a 4.47 xFIP. He's also walked 13% of hitters, and this is just not a park where you can afford to put extra hitters on base, given how favorable it is to hitters in general. So the Rockies are still projected to go a bit under-owned here, and they have a 5.7 implied run total tonight. Looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Alex Wood. He's facing his old team in Los Angeles. He's $8,600, projected for about 1% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. It is a difficult matchup against the Dodgers, who have a 108 WRC+ this year. They have a 21.5% strikeout percentage, but Wood's been a solid pitcher, 22.6% strikeout percentage for Wood, 2.98 xFIP. He has had a little bit of issues with home runs so far, allowing 1.4 home runs per 9, but it's likely that number comes down going forward. Number 2, another pitcher making a return to his former team, Dylan Bundy, going into Camden Yards tonight to face the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles offense has been one of the worst in baseball this year, only an 82 WRC+ and a sub 100 ISO. Not a lot going right for the Orioles at the plate. Bundy is $8,900. He's projected for 5% ownership, 8% chance of being the top pitcher on FanDuel. He has a 22.6% strikeout percentage and a 3.05 xFIP through his first 4 starts this season. And number 1, Nestor Cortes, 35.9% strikeout percentage this season. That number is inflated a bit by his start against Baltimore, where he struck out almost every batter he faced, but he's had very good strikeout numbers overall as well. Also a 2.06 xFIP in addition to that. He has a difficult matchup tonight against the Blue Jays, who have a 105 WRC+. And have struck out about 22.5% of the time. But Cortes is only projected for about 2% ownership at an inflated $10,100 price tag. This is a nice spot to pay up to be contrarian, as he has about a 10% chance of being the top scoring pitcher on tonight's slate. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on FanDuel: number 3, the New York Yankees; number 2, the Washington Nationals; number 1, the Colorado Rockies. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Alex Wood; number 2, Dylan Bundy; and number 1, Nestor Cortes.